Hello, Rebel, and welcome back to my life. At this point, I want to intentionally not see the Joker, just so I can watch the conniption fit people are going to have when I tell them that. Today I want to talk about a slightly difficult subject, and I'm going to attempt to approach it in a nuanced and complex way. I might mess up what I'm saying or not be totally clear in my intentions, and that's part of what I'm talking about. We live in a pretty political world right now, and there's just no escaping that. Especially in America, especially since the elections of 2016, there are just a lot of people who may have been indifferent or lukewarm on politics previously who find it more and more a part of their everyday lives. Some people are coping with this well. Some people are not. And many people who didn't find themselves involved in whatever issue for a long period of time now find themselves being drawn more and more into issues that they've never had to consider before. And I think on the whole, that's probably a good thing. Like a lot of societal injustices have existed for a very long time because not enough people were paying attention to them and trying to do something about them. However, it has also led to a lot of people getting burnt out on the topic. Whereas before, people might not have been involved because they didn't care or didn't know. Now you're seeing people actively withdraw from the arena because they just don't want to deal with it anymore because it makes their lives worse. There is, of course, a problem with that, which is that it's basically just returning to the situation as it was before, where societal injustices are allowed to continue because nobody's doing anything about it. And no, it's not that nobody's doing anything about it. There are still people doing something about any issue you could name out there. And it is those people who rightly can feel a little bit betrayed or let down when somebody says, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I need to take a break. Because the person saying, I need to take a break, is usually someone who's not actually affected by the issue they're talking about. It's usually an ally, somebody who's trying to do something about the situation from the outside and who has been, in the trenches or on the online spaces trying to fight the fight and is just finding themselves burnt out, especially if they're a public figure, thereby subjecting themselves to all the trolls who have been on the wrong side of these issues for a very long time. And sometimes, you do have to put your own oxygen mask on before you can help somebody else. Like, you're no more help to an issue if you render yourself unable to function or unable to do the normal stuff that you do in your life because you're so heavily immersed and enmeshed in a situation. But at the same time, you do have to recognize and hopefully publicly acknowledge the privilege that you have being able to step away from a societal issue. Because again, everybody who's actually involved in that issue and being oppressed in some way doesn't have the option to step away from it. It's their life. There's probably a couple of different ways to handle this. One is just to not publicly announce that you are stepping back or taking some time for yourself. And particularly if you're not in a marginalized group. Like, yeah, you can go take some time for yourself or step back from things or not be as actively out there combating trolls on Reddit or YouTube comments or Twitter. But you don't have to go let everybody know that, because then people who are affected by the issue don't feel like they're watching somebody else step away and to a degree say, I'm not here to help you anymore. But I actually don't think that secretly and silently stepping away from the fight is the best solution. I think there's another thing that we can do when we need to take breaks, when we need to focus on ourselves, take care of ourselves and our own mental health. And I actually think that it's something that way more people should do way more often, regardless of anything. If we look at political issues or social justice issues as either a fight or a game, there's a few different moves that you can make in a situation like that. One is attack, and attacking has to be done. You do have to tackle these issues head on. Someone has to be there saying, no, this is not okay, and we're not going to tolerate it. But attacking does have a couple of different effects, and one is that it can call more attention to you, which can then spur a bunch of people who are on the other side of the argument to target you directly. That is where the exhaustion and the burnout comes from. That is usually the circumstance that makes people feel the need to step away. It would be wonderful if every time we saw somebody do something crappy or harmful to some group or community that we care about, that we could just tell them what they've done, get them to understand it, and then boom, the whole situation is fixed and it never happens again. That is not the way that it works or has ever worked, at least in my experience or any situation I've observed from the outside, because one person can't speak to hundreds of thousands or millions of people. We're just not equipped to deal with that at all. And so if some creator or some team of creators does something less than ideal and they hear the same piece of feedback from hundreds of thousands of people, they're going to feel like they are being overwhelmed and attacked, because that's just how humans work. It doesn't matter that it doesn't make sense. That's just how we work. And let's say that the issue is that some creator or some artist who you've been a fan of for a long time, who you thought was kind of going in the right direction and doing the right things has turned out to be not quite as cool as you thought they were. By all means, you should let them know what they've done wrong. You should let them know what they can change to do it better in the future. But that is a form of attack, no matter how mild you put it and no matter how well intentioned. And sometimes you will invite a lot of counter backlash from the people who don't see anything wrong in what they're doing. And so what I think people should do when they are feeling burned out, or just actually really in life in general, is what I would call support. If you find yourself having to step away from a fight because you're getting too enmeshed in it, then ignore the fight completely and support the person or the people that you believe in, that are on your side. If this is, let's say, an artist or a creator, watch their videos, talk about them with other people, share what they're doing. If you can, buy their products to make it easier for them to make a living. Point the finger towards somebody else who is doing things right, who is doing cool stuff in whatever spaces it is that you inhabit. If you don't have the mental space to be able to deal with the crappy situation that's going on, go put your energy and your time in a better situation, in people or a person who's doing it right. Then you're not actually stepping away or withdrawing from a conflict or a fight. You are putting your shoulder to the wheel in a different direction, and one that is probably going to make you and the person you're supporting feel a lot better. I think that smart creators actually set up a line to receive feedback from their community in a way that they can actually handle and process it. I mean, you know that I'm a huge nerd fighter. The Vlogbrothers do censuses and surveys of their audience all the time, and that is actually like managed by their team so that they are not individually receiving and having to process hundreds of thousands of emails about what they might be doing wrong. It's not a perfect solution. The Vlogbrothers are not perfect people. Nobody's a perfect people. But it's probably a better solution than, you know, just deleting your Twitter account. My point is this. If you're a creator, I think you should spend some time figuring out a way to receive feedback in a way that you can actually manage and handle it, but which lets you know when you've done something bad. People do bad things. Even if it's by accident, the bad thing has still been done, and you should figure out a way to notice when it's happened and fix it. But on the flip side, if you're a fan, if you're a member of a community, you need to figure out how and where you're going to spend your energy to do the most good. Stepping away from a fight or a conflict or a way that people are being oppressed or marginalized is going to make the situation worse. But there is a way to channel what you're doing that helps you and helps other people way more. I know these are a lot of thoughts. I've been trying to cover all of the bases that I've been thinking about a lot recently with various stuff that's been going on online, some of which you probably know about, some of which you might not. And I figured that instead of breaking down individual situations and saying what went wrong and who did what wrong and everything like that, I think that there is a general guideline, a general philosophy we can apply to online interaction and being members of fan communities and whatnot that reduces the overall amount of harm being done. Reducing world suck, you might say. And that is all I've got for you today, Rebel. If you're still here at the end of this admittedly very long video, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if you think that I've gotten something wrong, if you think that there's some way to do this better. I really think we need to fix online interaction, y'all. It's got some problems. And I will see you next Friday. Maybe. Bye! Oh, hey, Rebel, I just wanted to pop in with one quick video addenda, a vadenda, if you will. You probably won't. We're trying out a couple of new merch ideas over the next few weeks, and one of them is this shirt, which is available right now, but is only going to be on sale for another week. So if you want it, go pick it up right away. The shirt says, "What would Jor-Del do?" which I think is one of the most important questions I've ever considered in my life, and honestly, probably is the single solution to better online interaction. There's a link in the description where you can go and pick up your very own shirt. Send me a picture if you get one. I would like to see it. Okay, bye!